Alright, what's up everybody? It's your boy Akeem. Welcome to today's final scouting report. Here to talk about a player who has been extremely questionable entering the 2015 NFL Draft. Talking about wide receiver Dorial Green-Beckham coming out of Oklahoma, but mainly Missouri. Now he's actually hailing from Springfield, Missouri, and he was in and out of foster care throughout his childhood before entering high school, in which he played football for his father John and became the #1 recruit coming out of high school. Decided to stay in state to play for the Mizzou Tigers. Now, as a true freshman, he was an honorable mention freshman All-American. A little bit of a disappointing season with 28 receptions, 395 yards, and 5 touchdowns. But he lived up to potential and showed more potential to become a star in college football as a sophomore, leading the team with 883 yards receiving and 12 scores, losing in the SEC championship against Auburn. But due to many off-the-field incidents, he actually was dismissed entering the 2014 season, and he actually had to enroll at Oklahoma. But before he entered Oklahoma, he had to intend for a rehabilitation center in order to change his mind and get him to become a better person overall. But he did not play for the Sooners this season in college football. Let's talk about his strengths and weaknesses. First, his strengths and why a lot of scouts are eyeing on him at the receiver position is because he's a physical specimen, and he reminds me a lot of Josh Gordon as far as his body type. 6'5", 225 pounds, and he definitely has excellent body control where he could catch the football within his radius. He does a good job twisting and turning his body and changing directions. Also, he has great straight line speed. He runs a 4.4, 4.5 40. That is what a lot of GMs and coaches want in the receiver at the NFL. Now, he does have a couple other strengths as far as his route running. He does a great job as far as a comeback route. He does a good job luring the defenders to go further up for him to get more space to come back and comeback routes. He does a great job with those particular routes underneath. Now, he does have a couple of weaknesses though. First, for a man of his size, he often struggles against press coverage. He needs to do a better job at that particular department in order to become an effective receiver in the National Football League, especially playing against bigger known cornerbacks like Richard Sherman of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, also, as far as his playing ability, he often has a hard time getting more vertical sometimes, but I think he's going to improve in his overall work ethic. Now, he has shown a lot of improvement as a sophomore, but he still has a lot work cut out for him, and sometimes mentally he doesn't really have a good work ethic, and that's from hearing from different interviews and from different people talking about Dorial Green-Beckham. Now, most importantly is the off-the-field issues, which is a major concern. I told you guys that he reminds me a lot of Josh Gordon physically, but he also reminds me a lot of Josh Gordon of the issues that he is having off the field. Now, he was actually suspended twice, and he had 2 incidents in which he had marijuana possession and marijuana inside of his system. He needs to do a smart job and not getting into drugs and getting even involved in drugs just to stay out of trouble. Also, he had an alleged issue of involving burglary and domestic violence, in which he pushed a young female who was 18 4 stairs down the stairs. That is inappropriate, and that is irresponsible, and that is just unnecessary. He needs to do a better job mentally to stay focused and to stay out of trouble. And because of all these incidents, he scares me a lot entering this year's draft. And me personally, because of the off-the-field issues, I actually have to bump him back personally to round 3. I think he's worth the risk of missing him out in round 2, but he's definitely not worth you guys passing out in round 3. But a lot of people are even have him going in the first round and giving him a chance. Now, yes, he did go to rehab, but the off the field issues and his mental issues, a little bit of a question mark still for me, and I don't think he's worth making it to the second round. But I'm not going to be surprised if he's stolen in the first round or the second round. But I have him going in the third round personally because of the off the field issues. Now, he does remind me a lot of Josh Gordon because of his ability, and even Randy Moss. Randy Moss had a lot of off the field issues entering his draft year, but he was actually rehabilitated prior to the draft, and he kind of stayed out of trouble during his stay at Marshall for most of the occasion. That's why I thought he was still deserving of a first round. But for Dorial Green-Beckham, and because of the work ethic, I'm a little bit concerned with that. I had to bump him back to round 3. Now that wraps things up for today. The next time I catch you guys will be Saturday overnight, where I will give you more scout reports headed towards the 2015 NFL Draft. Thank you for watching today's vlogs. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.